Coming up on this episode, I talk about building it slow and how the idea of everything coming fast may be the thing that's getting in your way of progress. So let's get into it. What's going on, beautiful people? This is the Perspective Chasers podcast, and I'm your host, John. On this episode, I want to talk about building it slow. Now, it's so easy for us to think that things come overnight, and as the old saying goes, Rome wasn't built in a day. But as we're always living in the immediate, it's easy to get caught up in wanting everything now. I mean, there's industries built on it these days. Next day delivery or same day delivery and this, that, and everything else. But the thing is, when you want to build something of quality, no matter what it is, it takes time. If you look at any work of art or whatever else, it took time to get that to where it is. If you look at a building or a structure, whatever it is, it takes time. It don't just pop into existence. It might seem like that sometimes, but everything takes time. So when you're thinking about building something or doing something and you want to get to the end result, understand there's a whole process in the middle of getting to that point. So if you don't start and you don't put in the work and build it slowly, you'll never get there. And the thing is with building it slowly, when you're working over time, it might feel like you're getting nowhere for a long time. And then all of a sudden you get the one crucial piece that brings everything together, and then you've got something that's beautiful or something that's substantial or something that's workable. Whatever it is, there's something gained in an instant from a massive amount of work. So understanding that when you put in that work, it will pay off. It just takes a while. Sometimes life's got to play catch up. Take training in the gym, for example. When you start training in the gym, you'll make a bit of initial progress, and then you'll stalemate, and then you'll make some more progress. But when you zoom out over the long term, if you stay consistent and you keep going, your progression will look like a fairly smooth line. But when you zoom in, you'll see all the little dips, bumps, plateaus, and everything else. But understanding that starting at the beginning and building it slowly and being consistent with it and sticking with it over time will build you something far better and far more sustainable than any quick fix. I mean, take training in the gym opposed to a quick fix of plastic surgery or something else. Well, taking the time to build it slowly and change your lifestyle and your habits and getting your body in shape or doing whatever you want to do with your body in the gym, opposed to going to a surgeon and doing it overnight. Well, when you go to the gym, you impart lifestyle changes, you build habits, routines, networks, this, that, and everything else. There's so many more variables that come with that. Whereas when you go to plastic surgery or a quick fix, you don't change anything about yourself. You might change the problem itself, but there's not been any behavioural changes or any changes in you. So then you're far more likely to revert back. In some cases you might not be able to. I mean, if you go for a nose job, I don't see how going to the gym or not going to the gym is going to change the fact you got a nose job. But there'll be places in life where you can apply the direct analogy, and there's other places where you'll have to spin it another way. But the sentiment is still true, that when you build something slowly, you can build something that lasts. And it may not necessarily be that it's going to last from the get-go. Sometimes it takes one final piece to bring everything together. Sometimes you could almost have a symphony, but then be missing that final note until that is dropped in, and then it brings everything together. There's so many variables, but you don't start unless you do. Like I said in the last episode about showing up. Well, once you've shown up, that's step one. Now the work begins. You put in the effort to show up and get there. Now you've got to pay attention to learn and put in the work and build. So if you start building and you keep building and you build consistently over time, even if you used to put one brick on top of the other every single day. I mean, I said it as a piece of paper before, but take it as a brick this time because it's far more substantial. Stack one brick on top of each other after another. Eventually do that every day. That'll get a very high single brick tower. I mean, again, throw out the laws of nature and wind and gravity and blah, 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 blah. But the metaphor stands true that you'll go incredibly far if you simply put in the consistency and start building it. I spoke about consistency before, and again, it's about building something over time instead of in a rush. So there's loads of ways you can build it, but put in the work and don't think that it's all going to come overnight. It might do in some cases, then fair play, take the win. But chances are it's going to be a while and you're going to have to put in the work over time with no payoff. But when it does pay off, it'll be worth the wait. And if it's not, hopefully the lessons will be worth the wait. Because again, it's only a loss if you take it as a loss. There's always going to be things that we can learn in life. You can build up a business and then it fails. Cool. Start another business. I know it's more complicated than that, but this, again, the sentiment is true. That you've learned how to do it and you've done it once. So you can do it again. No matter what it is, it's about not giving up on yourself. About building it slowly over time and understanding that if you keep building, you keep paying attention to life and you listen to yourself and understand the different things that make you tick and the different things that make life tick. Again, like you could start building something slowly, get to the finished product and understand that you're selling yourself a pipe dream the whole time and you're not happy with what you built. Okay, that's fine. But at least you found that out. If you never built that thing and you never went down that road, you'd have never found out. You'd have always had that what if, or I'd have been happier if. So at least now you've got the answer to that question. Sometimes you've got to find out for yourself, and that's okay. I think it's probably better to find out for yourself. Because at least then you know it's true to you. And that's really all that's going to ever matter at the end of the day. And then understand that, like, when you do build it slow, and then you look back, like, time moves really fast. We're all caught up in the immediate. And every day you wake up and days go by, go by. Now, like, I look back on this podcast, I've been doing this months. That's weird to say. But there was a time where I was thinking about doing it and I hadn't done it and this and everything else. That still feels like it was my immediate. But now I've got months of videos up and this and everything else. So it all happens very quickly once you start. It's just about starting. It applies to many areas in life. But if you don't start building, you'll never start getting to where you want to go. Again, it's going to take many forms. It's not always going to apply to work or podcasting or whatever. Apply it to your hobbies. If you never pick up a new hobby, you'll never find that new skill or develop that new skill. If you never think, oh, I want to learn piano or learn to play guitar, and you never pick up that instrument and try, you'll always have that question. But you can build that skill if you just do it, if you show up and then you put in the effort. So think about it and think about what you want to build and what you would put time into building. Because we've all got time. We've all got our time to use however we want to use it. As much as you may be convinced otherwise these days, that is true. Your time is yours to choose how you use it. So take control of it and realize that you can build something, and it's up to you, really. Nobody's going to force you, but if you want to build something, it's well within your power. And build it slow, learn from it, and build something that's going to last for time. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this episode up. The seed for this episode is going to be sit down and see what you can think of that you'd be willing to put in the time and build slowly. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, Rome weren't built in a day. So find your Rome. I think everybody should have something they build. It's not necessarily going to be the same thing. Not everybody's going to want to build a business empire or a podcast or a fitness empire or whatever it is. Everybody's different. But I think that's what, again, makes life beautiful. So see what you can put time into and see what you could devote some of your life to. See what you could leave for future generations and future life in general. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this one up. All the best, and I'll catch you on the next one.